There's a dirty, nasty worm. Guess what, worm? You're gonna be part of the circle of life. Alright, so if you had to guess what was on this toilet paper, what would you say it was? See, all y'all nasty, because I know what y'all thinking right now. It's mud. It's mud. Y'all a bunch of sickos.
Alright, so because I put myself in such a time restraint, saying I was gonna do a video every day, which I didn't do a video yesterday, but I forgot I had to do tank maintenance. And that, you know, takes me quite a bit of time. What I did do is I took a break yesterday to do some tank maintenance, but I'm getting at it today. I know I said I was gonna have a special guest, which was gonna be Father Fish, Lou. He was gonna help me. I was gonna have like my phone so you can see him on the two-way and all that. And but that wasn't this. This is all about just the nitty-gritty, getting it done. So I talked to Lou a little while ago. I said, listen, I ain't gonna be able to do the, you know, the two-way thing, but please give me, you know, your advice on this 45, what to do, how to do it, the process. And I've been binge watching his videos on dirted tanks. He got a lot of videos, a lot of live streams. What to do according to Lou. And by the way, I'm gonna put his link in here so you can get the knowledge from the dude himself. Put a little bit too much water in there. It should have been a little bit more thicker, but if I let it sit, the water seeps to the top. But once I, you know, mix it up and stuff, it gets a little bit more thicker. So this is what I'm working with. I wish it was a little bit less watery, but I think it'll be okay. This is my first time. This is my first time, so don't judge me, people. Don't judge me!
Stop!
Alright, so that's about an inch. And look, if you guys was wondering how messy it is, I guess if you took your time and all that, yeah, it wouldn't be that bad. But of course, you know, Funk don't take his time or nothing. He just goes right in. Look, mud on it. So I got to get that cleaned up before Mama Funk comes. So, where did I get this dirt from? Well, I got it from a place that they're about to develop. That means it was land that was all wooded and everything. So before they got their tractors and backhoes and all that, I went ahead and digged out dirt. I did find some clay in there. There is some remnants of leaves and twigs. It's very small. I pulled out the big stuff. There is, like I said, worms. If I said worms, I'm saying it now. But I also ran into a patch of clay, which I was debating. I was like, should I put that in there? I don't know. But I did hear that putting terracotta or clay pots in your aquarium will help with the iron. So I went ahead and left it. You know, hopefully any plants that I have red that I put in there will enjoy that iron, that extra iron. So in there is a mix of clay, basically dead leaves and twigs and stuff like that, and dirt. I don't want to go too deep into what else might be in there because I had my hand straight up in it. But if you're getting it from, you know, the wild, make sure you know that it's a place that hasn't had people spraying pesticides on it. It's very important. And try not to think too much about what else might be in there. All right, so now I got to put sand in, right? Like I said, I'm not going to go back out there and get some more dirt, but because this dirt is slightly a little bit more watery than I'd like it to, all I would have to do is just add dirt to soak up that stuff. But I'm not going to do that. I think it's not as bad as it could have been. The sand is also, I cleaned it. I got the sand from Home Depot. It's all natural play sand, 100% sand. But that stuff, you have to clean it. And it's real simple to do. You put about that much, 6 inches of sand in a bucket, fill it up about 6 inches past the sand. So if this is your sand, you got 6 inches of water, you swish it, swish it, swish it, and before it gets to settle down, you empty it. You do that 4 times, and that 6 inches will be clean. Alright, y'all see how that sand was just falling into the mud? That's no bueno. So I'm gonna have to add some dirt to this to thicken it up. I might have to add dirt to it to thicken it up, then remove some dirt to keep it at that inch level. So word to the wise, go ahead and get it right the first time so it's not so messy, because it's probably gonna make more of a mess. I tried to wipe it up, but all right, so that's a little better. I went ahead and took out some dirt because it was a little higher. It only supposed to be an inch. You know what I mean? Beep. I did take out some. I'm not gonna bore you with the rest because you put 2 inches of sand. Some of you guys may have noticed all the debris in there, which I mentioned earlier, and you might be like, well, why didn't you take that stuff out? And I'm gonna tell you why. Originally, what I was gonna do is I got a strainer, an old spaghetti strainer, the metal type, and originally I was gonna, strain out all the particles and stuff, the twigs and roots and stuff like that. See, what had happened was, it's been rainy out here, so the dirt, while it was slightly drier than what I can use for this, when I put it in the strainer, the colander, it basically just balled up. It wouldn't go through the holes, like loose dirt. So I was like, I'll take out what I can. And you know what, to be honest with you, the whole purpose of doing this is to have a very natural ecosystem in your aquarium. And all that debris is part of the natural cycle, the natural ecosystem. So it will only benefit in and aid in the microorganisms that we're trying to propagate. Are we procreating with microorganisms now? All right, so I did have to get more sand. And if you wanted to know how to fill up a tank and not disturb the substrate, here it is. Whether you're doing it with a water hose or you're doing it with bucket or a Python, do it very gently. Get yourself, whether it be a big plate, a big flat plate, a bowl, whatever, and you do it this way. And what you're doing is basically you're diffusing all that power and spreading it out so that the water doesn't shoot into one spot and make everything go anywhere. As you can see, it's slowly filling up and the sand is not being disturbed. So I went ahead and did all this, right? Now, I was real sloppy right here, and I'm chalking that up to, inexperience, because I've seen, other tanks where it was like a perfect line across, but they've done it a bunch of times. But now I know. I don't like the look of it. I really don't. I think that's ugly. So I foresee black tape for this tank's future going across there. One of the things that I did want, one of the reasons why I did want to have a nice little line, so I can see everything that's going on underneath the surface, all nice and layered. But I guess that's for another tank. Tomorrow I am going to get plants and put it in here. I am going to just fill it up a little bit of the way, not all the way. Now, once this tank gets, a little bit higher, I could take this out and, fill it up at a more decent rate. But I'm going to go ahead and let everything settle. Tomorrow I'm putting plants in. All right, so if you guys haven't watched the other videos and you don't know, the reason why I'm putting this tank together is because I'm going to start live streaming soon, and I wanted a nice, beautiful display tank. I wanted to push the boundaries a little bit as to what I'm used to, so I'm setting this thing up for my live stream. If you want to watch the other videos, just look down in my other videos, and you'll find other videos pertaining to this tank on how I set it up. And I'm going to keep doing videos like this on this tank until it's ready. Can't wait to see you in my live stream, guys.